Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
This one goes out to our boys in blue.
That's right.
Navy.
Parentheses Navy blue suits, not the armed forces at all, actually.
Parentheses ACAB.
Parentheses ACAB. In yellow font because of cabs.
That's right.
Taxi cabs.
Yeah.
But in London though, cabs are like black, right? They're like little.
Oh
cabs,
yeah, they
right?
are. And I was just
Yeah, like because
like yellow accents though.
Dude,
let me look up London cab.
our cousins across the
Cousins,
pond
by the
let
way.
us know how wrong we are.
No, they are black cars, and they're the only trace of yellow is the orange like taxi cab light, but that's not even a pure yellow.
Or maybe even like I guess the orange the
lights
blinkers on when they're turning. Yeah. Which is opposite because in here we are on the different side of the road. So
did you guys
that's
know
how
that
it works?
I'm talking to our listeners that we drive on different sides of the road.
Did you know?
Yeah, did you know? That would be a good we should start doing fun facts.
Oh dear me, I forgot I'm in the colonies. What about Arrested Development? Remember that?
Fun fact, Arrested Development was a TV show that aired from 2003 to 2005. That's something we'd post on our Instagram.
Yeah, and we don't count. That's right, and we don't count anything else that came after that, actually.
I mean, it's like...
Although I keep telling people the Netflix one is
fine.
The
first Netflix one is fine. I remember thinking it was not that good, and then the second Netflix season came out, and it's so much worse.
Well, they also, again, we've said it so many times, they recut that first
yeah, because...
And it's like season 4 remix or whatever.
I kind of want to watch the original again, because I remember... I don't know. I kind of liked the remix because I feel like like the problem with season 4 is if you get bored with like say the Job storyline, if you like him hanging out with Justin Bieber or whatever, then you're stuck there for like 3 episodes.
No, that's what I'm saying. I guess you've literally never seen the remix where they recut it. So
no, that's what I'm saying. But I kind of like want to like that is a good thing. But I kind of want to watch the original to see. It's like I want to compare them. I want to know, is anything lost?
Well, the original doesn't even exist anymore.
I think there's you have to go deep into the settings of Arrested Development season 4 on Netflix.
Oh, I'm sorry.
To select the version that is the original, not re-edited. And then season 5 just sucks ass.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's bad. Tony Wonder's dead, etc. Yeah. Let me ask you guys a question. Let's just get right into it, actually. If I asked you guys to draw a suit, what color would it be? like no other details, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like if you were to draw a man wearing a suit,
I guess my first instinct was that it would have no color at all because it would just be pen and paper. But if you handed me
just be lines,
if you handed me colored pencils,
I gave you some markers or crayons. That's right.
All
yes.
These things.
Yeah.
Well, I'd suppose I'd have to draw a blue suit.
That's right. Yeah. A navy blue suit to be exact. Yeah, that's also my intro that I wrote for my blog post that I tried to write beforehand. By that I mean I wrote one paragraph before this. Nice. But yeah, I think it's like, to me, the navy suit's like the platonic ideal. You know, it's like it's the default, and not in the default way that I talk about, like in the bad way.
Default is the
but I guess
good way.
Default is that like, well, like defaulting on your loans, right? But like it's like default. I guess that's default, but default, it's like the natural existence. That's right. I guess. You know, and it's surprising because we've talked about we have a whole episode on the brown suit. I don't think we have an episode on the gray suit, but I wrote a whole article on why I came around on the gray suit. You know, those are two different things, but like we've never really talked about the navy suit.
I feel like because we've assumed it's like, what can you say? What can you say?
Default.
You know,
exactly.
It's like being. I guess we did do a whole episode on socks, didn't we? Or did we talk about like socks?
We did. Yes, we did. We did the whole like.
Yeah. So I was gonna
socks.
say it's like I guess if we did an episode on that, you could think we'd do this episode on the suit. But yeah, it's one of those things that seems so basic.
Yeah,
But here we are. Now we're talking about it.
that's that's right. I mean, I think it's because, I'm so glad that people are like getting into it's just so funny. It's because
Mm-hmm.
MJ's gonna cut that out, and then they're just gonna hear me react to
Yeah.
laugh at nothing. It'll be a little inside thing there. Write that down. 514.
Even if it gets
Um,
like filtered through the noise cancellation.
That's right. But yeah, I think it's cool that everyone's been getting into suits, obviously. With TikTok and people are corporate core. I feel like that's already late now, but like people are wearing like more suits again. You see. You go to a Leve concert or you go to the museum and there are kids wearing, suits with, ribbed tank tops or like, merch tees or whatever. And, GQ's always talking about them. So I thought it was pertinent to talk about the Navy suit because I feel like even though it's like the platonic ideal, even though it's the standard or what we assume you already have, I think that makes it ripe for discussion. Because Navy suits, I feel like, have their own vibe. I mean, it's like, when you have your closet full of suits,
Yeah.
as I do, or I guess as all three of us do, there are micro decisions, there are considerations that you have on what suit to wear, because all three of us, it doesn't really matter what color suit. We don't work at Harrods or Lloyd's of London where there are these strict rules over like what suit you can wear. We have a blank canvas, which means that we rely on what is the messaging, what is the POV of each of these suits.
Canvas LLC.
Blank
And it's the
Canvas
most
USA.
If we ever like,
it's the most boring and
wait,
strict
that should
place
be
to
like
work at,
if
actually.
we ever have to like incorporate the podcast for like tax purposes, that should be the.
Yeah, even though this is a loss for
Uh-huh.
me, actually. That should be Blank Canvas
Yeah.
LLC, headquartered in the
That's
Cayman
right.
Islands, or Delaware, whatever the corporate tax haven thing is. But yeah, I just thought it would be fun to talk about because I don't know about you guys. Was a Navy suit your first suit, like, ever?
No.
It might have been. I'm trying. Well, my first suit. No. I think my first suit ever was probably like a charcoal suit.
Really?
We'll have to dig these
Interesting.
up for the podcast at one point. There are suits of like Baby Spencer or suits. There are pictures of Baby Spencer in little
interesting.
suits. I liked walking around in my vest and pants when I was like 3 or 4 years old because I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
But no, I think my first suits were like charcoal. At least the first suit that I remember, like, I got it for like a winter formal. This was the first suit that I guess technically my parents bought after I got into clothing, and I had with me a picture of the Brooks Brothers like Mad Men suit, and I was trying to recreate that, but doing the best I can, and so just went with like another kind of charcoal 2-button suit.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
But yeah, that was my first one. I'm trying to think of when I got a Navy suit, and it had to have been vintage because I remember a lot of like my first. I had a couple vintage Navy suits, most of which I don't own anymore, but I do know for a fact that some of the first like vintage pre-60s sport coats that I got were blue.
Yeah. What about you, MJ?
I think in junior high, I think it was a black Calvin Klein suit my mom got me from like Macy's or something like that.
Oh, you know what? That's my answer too. I think my first
Yeah,
ever
see,
suit
I feel
is
like
black.
if you're a non-fashion person and you're buying a suit for your kid, because I'm saying we would be different. But
our children, if we ever have any, they'll start with a navy blue suit.
they're going to start with the
actually.
navy suit. But I feel like most of our parents' generation, who are maybe, don't care as much about suits because they don't want to fucking sell out, man. That's how.
Yeah, it's the
Gen X-
90s, baby.
It's the 90s, man. Like I don't know. Like I feel like in the 2000s, like before, there was kind of this resurgence in menswear.
Yeah.
The default back then was kind of just like a charcoal or a dark, like a black suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really funny to think about because like a navy suit is like the conservative again, I keep saying platonic ideal because like that's like what it should be, right? Because like when you look at like apparel arts or even like you get into the 60s with Esquire and like the whole like Ivy stuff, like they still say like freshmen should wear a navy and gray suit. Like gray is still up there with navy, but like black is not really there because I guess up until maybe the 70s, your black would be the tuxedo. You know what I mean? Like you would that's what you would wear the black for, and you would wear
you would have a black suit for a funeral, but there were more.
But like that's it, yeah. But which is why it's really funny to think about how like black has overtaken that in the consciousness of people's minds as the safe or the default thing here. But we're not talking about black suits because we also I don't know if we'll ever do that because
I feel like we could talk about just black clothing in general because I mean,
we did.
I want to just get more because I don't own any, but every time I do, I'm like, man, I look cool in this.
Yeah, I mean, side note, everyone needs a pair of black jeans.
Yeah,
like that's just cool. Like whenever I wear a t-shirt, like I keep saying platonic ideal, but like I guess I just pair things with things in my mind, and like when I wear a t-shirt, the pants I'm wearing, if it's not like I'm wearing it with a suit, is black jeans. Like I just in my head that just makes sense. But anyway, the navy suit, it is the conservative. It is like the safe choice to wear. And when you look at like modern, or I guess like from like the 2010s onward, like when people recommend you buy a suit, it's always the navy suit or charcoal gray, depending on, I guess, what you prefer. Okay. In crazy times, people actually say to get the charcoal suit first, which I think
I disagree.
Wrong.
Yeah. People like to say that because like, but then you can wear a black tie and it'll be fine for a funeral. But guess what? I feel like people
you can do that with a
you can do that with
a funeral too.
Yeah, people were really upset. I'm not, to be clear, I'm not about to defend Donald Trump, but people were very upset with the Donald Trump wearing a blue suit to the Pope's funeral, and like he did stand out. But the thing is, like, the point I'm trying to make, you look in the crowd and you saw other politicians that were wearing navy suits, but they didn't get yelled at because they wore like a dark tie, or at least their navy was not as like bright and shiny as his. Because again, that's I think where the mistake was, not just wearing a navy suit to a funeral. Because if you have a dark navy suit, that's basically black. But I don't know. I just sent you guys like this article that was like a history of presidential fashion, because I feel like the navy suit is and was and always will be kind of like the default, especially for like politicians, like businessmen. Yes. I think it's changed now.
Maybe businessmen is a little bit different.
Like businessmen are associated like the gray flannel suit, but that was again like back in the 50s. I think now a businessman, if he's wearing a suit, it's more likely to be navy. But like navy suits like have always been in the realm of like lawyers and politicians, and it's I don't know. I would say it's probably like a dark navy is probably the most formal color, or at least equal with charcoal. But
right. It comes from like the military history, right? Like literally, the Navy would wear navy jackets, right, or navy flannel, right? That's the whole thing. Well, part of their uniform, and then countless military uniforms have used like dark navy, like the Union Army is the blue, right? And so obviously like black kind of like falls in that area kind of as well, but navy it's a perennial. It's literally like the thing that you get. It's dark. It's, I don't know, easy to, I guess whites you just bleach it, but like with navy it's like it has like a commanding presence, and it makes sense it was worn by like in business suits. I mean, technically speaking, right? Like the suit was like in the 20s and teens, like black was a lot of suits were black back then. But like once you kind of started moving away from that, and like black started being reserved for like black tie and like morning dress with like a stroller suit, like the navy suit is like the corporate. Like the regular attire. Like when you look at old apparel arts, like that's what people, like business people, are wearing in those illustrations.
Yeah, but when it went from the shift of like if you're dressed up, you're wearing like a cutaway coat or a frock coat, and those tended to be black wool. To like
the lounge suit,
the lounge
right?
suit, which was a more casual garment, but then became kind of de facto business wear.
The business, exactly.
Blue was like kind of it, but Let's hear it for Navy.
That's it for navy. Yeah, I think. I mean, the appeal to me of navy, like even just as a color, I like it. I mean, obviously there's a whole thing like, oh, boys like blue and girls like pink, and you kind of grow up with that kind of like blue is like a masculine color, and I guess it kind of is, and not like in a sexist way, but it just feels like authoritative, you know. But if we compare it to other colors, I feel like it stands up on its own. It's a unique, maybe not unique, but like it has its own special quality of being authoritative, classic, but organic in a way, because like blue is still like a rich color to me. Like there is depth to it, and I know that I got into an argument with Berkeley about like whether or not gray is in color. Yeah. This is a long time ago, yeah. When I said that I wouldn't wear, like I never would wear gray, and of course that obviously that sentiment has changed, but and I did look it up. Like gray is considered an actual color. It's not just like, you know, I guess it's not like black, like the absence of white, or white is the absence of color or whatever. But like if I like gray is like a shade to me. It's desaturated, whereas blue has its own intensity to it, and to me that makes its like standard, you know, stiff, or not, maybe not stiff, conservative appearance be different than gray. Like there is color to it, whereas gray feels austere. It feels even more removed and lifeless. And then with black is so in your face, but because it's so stark. But blue, or navy blue, I should say, it has color. Again, these are all colors, but like it just feels like it's an actual tangible color to me, which is why I like it over gray and over. I mean, I feel black,
it feels like more like approachable than gray.
Yes, yeah, there is something there to it. Yeah. It's lively. At least in comparison, right? Like, obviously, like, you know, we're talking, this whole podcast is about the Navy suit. You know, obviously, if you have, like, a lighter blue suit or, like, a Air Force blue, like, maybe that's more approachable because it's, you know, more fashiony. But, like, the Navy suit, like, if we're comparing it to the other style and direction certified colors of mid-gray to charcoal, black for black tie, or the chocolate brown and then khaki, like blue just has this kind of like it feels, it's so normalized, but it's still approachable, versus, you know, the kind of more fashion forward chocolate brown or khaki, which can lean more casual and maybe too much life. And then you have, like, you know, the gray and black where we're like, okay, we want to look robotic on purpose or whatever. Like blue is a way to kind of get the most of both. Like that's why, again, to me, the three suits you need, man, you only need three suits. It's Steve Harvey. But it's navy blue, charcoal, and brown. And I do want to make a big case for navy blue, and I know that sounds weird, but I think that, you know, there is a feeling that you get from like wearing blue, and like the power that it has, you know. And I just love the color. Like it is so. Like, yes, to me, navy blue is basic. That's why I say my favorite color is purple. But I always say that it's like purple is like blue with an attitude, right? Where it's like it's got that depth, it's got that like richness, but it's also not blue. I think that blue is that, where it's, again, it's like it is standard, it is basic, but there is something there.
We should also just like, you know, we gotta call out our boy Beau Brummel, the inventor of toxic masculinity. Because
that's right.
Like he wasn't one to wear suits, because I actually like I want to learn more about this, but I remember like a vintage menswear guy telling me that like up until like the 1920s or 30s, like separates were technically more formal.
That might be because
exactly.
Suit, maybe?
But like because he kind of invented the navy jacket with gray flannels, but.
Yes,
exactly.
The security guard look.
Security guard look, but that is I don't know, like the kind of that shade of navy has been like a staple in menswear for the past like 300 years, something like that. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean it is funny. Like one of the appeals of navy is just how, again, we keep saying how standard it is, but like I guess to me it's like when I think of when I wear the navy suit, number one, whenever I buy a new tie or a new shirt, like in my head, I pair it with a navy suit. In fact, it might be the first time I wear it. It might be with a navy suit just to like see it. You know what I mean? Like it just that's the test. Because if it works with a navy suit, it'll work with everything else. But like because navy suits are my default, it has to go with it. And
I was
it almost
say,
always
any
does.
Ties that
but there's just something cool.
Look good with a I guess maybe some like a shiny black tie.
I've done it. I feel that's kind of cool, actually. Like,
no,
I feel like
okay.
like,
I don't think
like a black
I think
brocade,
that matching or mixing like black and navy can be done. There are some people that are like don't do it at all, but I do think that I don't know. I mean, obviously, like a black knit tie looks really good with a navy suit. Yeah,
that's true. I feel like that's the most like basic, like the platonic ivy, where like you have a navy sack suit, white OCBD, black knit tie, and like black loafers. You know, like that's so cool to me. I mean, the power of navy is that you can dress it up or down, and it can feel decidedly either one. Like a brown suit, you can dress it up or down for sure, but it still feels more casual because it's a brown suit. Same thing with gray, you can dress it up or down, but it can still feel a little bit rigid, or at least, you know, not lifeless, but austere on purpose because of the gray. But with navy, it can feel really formal when you wear it with like a black tie or black shoes, or you wear it with like brown suede shoes with like, you know, a patterned shirt or like an aloha shirt, and it feels like there's so much like life to it, you know. And it doesn't feel as like fashiony as if you were to wear like a black suit can definitely be dressed up. It can be dressed down, but dressing down a black suit feels more like chic, right? Like you wear like black cowboy boots or like, you know, something with it, or like, you know, you wear like a yellow aloha shirt with a black suit. That feels casual, but it feels like edgy still. But with navy, it still feels approachable. Like you said, I really like that word because of how easy it is, you know. And like again, whenever I get like, if I get like a brocade tie or like anything, like it feels like such a mix of vibes. Like whenever I wear like a tab collar shirt, or even like a white shirt with a navy suit, it goes together. Then depending on my choice of tie or shoe, it can be like dressed up or down, or softened, I guess is a better way to think about it. Like you're playing into this versus are you not, you know. Do you guys think about like when you like, what do you guys like to wear with your navy suits? Like when you, how actually I guess my question is like, when you wear your navy suit, what do you naturally gravitate towards wearing with it?
I actually mostly wear navy sport coats. I do have a navy suit, and that's my double-breasted suit. The rest I don't own anymore. I might still have my like Men's Warehouse custom navy suit, but I don't like that, so I'm not gonna wear it.
I don't even remember that. Is that the one with like the?
Yeah, because I got it for free when they introduced the program. They were like, everyone gets a free suit so they can like know how the process works. And I just wore it like one time and never again. But I wear my navy jacket like, I don't know, like 2 or 3 times a week at least. I was wearing it today, and I wear that thing with everything. That's what I like about it. I mean, like I have jacket, I'm finally taking my other navy blazer to get the sleeves lengthened. I have the tiniest bone to pick with my dry cleaner, because I was like, oh, I'll save myself. The dry cleaner is like right next to my house, like, you know, it's very close, and my tailor is like a 20-minute drive away. So I was like, why don't I just take this jacket to the dry cleaner to have the sleeves let down? That's a really easy thing. And then I did, and I didn't have them do it because I don't think they know what they're doing, because they took a look at the sleeve and said, there's no excess fabric there. And I said, yes, there is. It's just covered by the lining. I could feel like 3 or 4 inches of like excess fabric at the sleeves. And they were like, I don't think we can do this. Take it somewhere else. I'm like, okay, man. But anyway, I'm getting a second navy blazer with the sleeves lengthened. So you should hopefully see that maybe by the time this episode comes out in the blog post. But I do wear that with everything. I wear it with.
But when you do wear it,
ties, I wear it a lot with like more casual stuff. Like today, I was wearing it with my fun shirt and khakis. But this weekend maybe I'll wear it with like my denim cowboy shirt and jeans and stuff like that. And that's one of the things I like about it. It's like very versatile. It just kind of it reflects whatever you have on underneath it. It doesn't really set the vibe, but like you can kind of change the vibe based on like everything else. It's a chameleon in some ways.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do the same thing when you wear the suit?
Yes.
fully?
When I wear my blue suit, the one that I own is a double-breasted suit. So
Yeah.
I guess so. I tend to do not the same looks. With that, I'll either just do like kind of more bold looks where I wear a crazy shirt and an aloha shirt or something like that. Or if I'm dressing it up with that, I do tend to go more formal, I guess, than I would with just a navy single-breasted suit. Yeah.
Yeah. That is yeah, I mean the chameleon aspect is something I definitely want to explore more, because I think I know exactly what you're talking about, and the reflecting of whatever's inside. Because like in my head, because the navy suit's like so platonic, it gets you that blank canvas for subversion or playing into it, right? Like with a navy suit, when you wear it with, let's say, like a denim or chambray shirt, it's such an interesting mix of vibe versus like a brown suit. It feels inherently casual, so you're playing into that a little bit more. But I guess it could be the same thing with like a gray suit with the chambray, but it feels like, and I do that, but like that feels more of like a contrast. But with a navy, it feels almost like what's your base here? Like, is it like, are you doing chambray and navy because of the colors? Are you doing like two different, textures of navy, or is it because you're trying to do it casual? And it's all of those things together, which I think is very interesting. Like the fact that like so much casual stuff, like wearing a denim shirt or even jeans with a blazer, it's technically blue, right? But like you're kind of evoking that platonic navy suit idyllic look. And we're gonna have a future episode on denim and all that kind of stuff in the before the end of the year. But I do think that that's an interesting aspect of how you can wear navy or like a navy jacket. What about you, MJ? How do you, when you wear your navy suit outfits, like what comes first? Are you thinking like, okay, I'm gonna dress down this navy suit, or are you the kind of person who's like, okay, I think of a cool shirt tie combination, or you pull a fun shirt out and you're like, okay, I think the navy would look best with this. Like, how do you do it?
I mean, what comes to mind first is like if I'm wearing a tie, I usually kind of lean into like the red, white, and blue, like sort of like template, where it's like white shirt or like blue striped shirt and like a burgundy or like mainly red tie. And then from there, I guess if we're going down the line of like wearing a tie to not wearing a tie, or I guess more casual, I like wearing yellow with my
yellow and blue is really good.
Navy blazers. Like I have like the yellow floral or like aloha shirts are always fun to do.
Yeah, that's kind of is it the Goldfinger look? You do a blue suit with yellow shirt and like yellow tie, or I guess they're gold colored, but
Wait, like
yeah.
gold, like what he wears, or
no,
like what Bond wears in it?
What Goldfinger the character wears in that? Or am I making that outfit up in my head?
You might be, because in the scenes I'm seeing him, he's wearing a Tattersall vest with like, this is a pretty Ethan outfit. He's wearing like gray pants with a Tattersall vest and a brown jacket. And then there's another scene where he's wearing, like +4s and shit. I don't know what you're.
Well, I'm making it up in my head, but that's an outfit I'd like to wear. Yeah.
Well, it's a good thought, even if it wasn't accurate.
I gotta wear the Goldfinger outfit. Actually, it's so Ethan. Oh my god, yeah. hello, I am Ulrich Goldfinger. He's also wearing a Tyrolean in one of the scenes, which is with a shawl collar, gun check jacket that he wears that when he's playing golf, which is
pretty good.
Cool.
I mean, his towel shirt.
Awesome, man. We gotta do a whole episode on like.
Yeah, we could just do like eras of Bond. We could just do like an episode on 60s Bond.
I mean, Bond villains are so. I mean, Safed Core exists. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Dr. No is so cool, even though he's like supposed to be Asian, but like he's not. I guess Safed's also supposed to be like half Asian too, right? He's like half Japanese and half.
I mean,
I think like Russian? Iranian or something.
Yeah, because his island is like off the coast of like Southeast Asia, right? So.
Yeah, man, what the hell's going on with James Bond?
A new video game coming out next year, I think.
That's right. Exciting. Yeah, but maybe. I mean, yeah. So you're saying you like wearing yellow with it. I mean, how often do you guys balance the whole like playing into the navy suit versus subverting it? I guess because again, you guys don't really have corporate jobs. I guess Spencer.
Yeah, but it's like other guys in my workplace. Like, there's a guy that like. He's wearing like jeans and like a sweatshirt every day. Like, I don't have to dress the way I do for my job at all. But
right,
I feel like almost okay. Well, this like I don't know. When I'm work Spencer, like okay, right now I'm summer work Spencer, which means I'm more casual. I'm not wearing a tie as much. Sometimes I wear patterned shirts or aloha shirts, but like for most of the time when I'm regularly meeting people. I'm kind of doing like an Ivy like academic thing, and so that's typically what I lean into. I wear a lot of button-down collar shirts and rep ties or fullards or any other sort of kind of simple conservative pattern. But I don't know. I feel like when I subvert it is just on weekends because like I'm really finding that I just kind of want to wear at least a sport coat all the time. Like I feel like that is kind of like. Yeah, Navy's like the easiest one to do,
to default into.
But yeah, that's just I just kind of like I like how sport coats fit and look over everything else in my wardrobe. And yeah, Navy is kind of the default. I feel like if I'm just pulling something blind out of my closet, I'm gonna go with the Navy.
Yeah. That's like the joy of wearing Navy. I mean, for me, I guess it'll always depend on like what the POV that I'm like trying to accomplish is, right? And I think that a Navy suit slots into everything, right? Like there is always a Navy suit with Ivy. There's always a Navy suit with apparel arts. And there's always a Navy suit with, I guess, different kinds of corporate attire, And what I like about it is the fact that it can work across any of those things. In fact, the more that I look at this and the more that I scroll through my Navy Suit Inspo album, the more it feels like they're not even talking about conservative stuff. I feel like they're just talking about like, about the color of Navy. And like because back in those days, especially apparel arts, like they just assume that you're just wearing suits all the time because that's the default attitude. So it's like on the days you wear this kind of tie, you wear navy suits, and then on the days you wear this kind of shirt, you wear a gray suit. And and there's small stuff there about it being like like obviously with like gray flannel, you'll wear like a chambray, and like with a navy suit, it's typically kind of businessy or whatever. But it just feels like it's more about color patterns, right? Like whenever, and one thing when I'm looking at this, whenever there's like a bold tie, or there's a lot of illustrations where someone's wearing a bold tie and they're wearing a navy suit because that's like the best way to kind of calm it down, And that's kind of how I see it too, where in most cases, right, like whenever I make an outfit, it's already wholly formed in my head. Like I'm not really like, oh, I want to wear this tie and this shirt. Which of my suits will go with this? Usually there's like an entire look in my head. But I guess if I were to go back a little bit further, sometimes I like wearing... Like, I do have to think, okay, that tie goes with the navy suit. Like, whenever I wear, like, a rep stripe, like a red and blue stripe tie, the classic rep, yes, you could wear that with literally anything else. But sometimes in my head, I'm like, that feels very preppy, that feels very trad. And in my head, I want to wear that with a navy suit, Or whenever I wear, like, a brocade tie, that's usually... And the brocades I own are usually, like, navy with some, like, pink or red in there. Yes, I could go with a brown suit. Yes, I could go with a gray suit. But there's something about pairing it with navy that just makes sense. When I wear a bow tie, I think I most often wear a bow tie with a navy suit. And maybe what I'm getting at is the fact that like navy, because it's so safe, it lets me wear some of the crazy stuff versus, you know, going crazy with some other things in with different suits. Like with a brown suit, maybe I'll wear like a yellow shirt, but a plain yellow shirt. But with like a navy suit, there's something about wearing like a navy pattern shirt or like a red pattern shirt and like surrounding it with navy. Like there's just something that calls out to me in that way that just, it just makes more sense because like you're surrounding it something that is not cold. Again, it's austere but inviting or whatever compared to gray, and it's definitely more conservative than wearing brown. But like I do that a lot, and sometimes it is just like wearing patterns together. Like sometimes I like wearing a pale blue shirt or a chambray shirt with a navy suit to kind of play on that kind of tonal thing. Like I said, like I wear bow ties or brocades with my navy suit because it just calms it down a little bit more. There's a way to kind of like, you know, I could wear a bow tie with like my gray plaid suit, and I have, or wear a bow tie with a khaki suit, or wear a brocade with a brown check jacket with gray trousers, but like those tend to lean into like, you know, your very apparel arts. And what's funny is that as a side note, it was kind of hard in the early apparel arts catalogs to find solid navy suits because most of it was either pinstripe or they were wearing grays and browns, or they were wearing separates. Whereas, you know, and when it's formal, it was black tie or it was stroller suits. And the couple of apparel art stuff of a solid navy suit that I had was like a bow tie with a boater, or wearing it with like a crazy brocade, or you wearing it like a, I mean, there was like 3 of them in a row where a guy's wearing it with a boat, like a contrast collar shirt and bow tie. And that's so interesting to me that like they saw it as like just like color mixing. Like it was just like a navy suits for like wearing it with colors versus like, oh, the navy suits for Monday through Friday, but the brown suits for this. Like, I'm sure that, again, like I said earlier, that it's a part of it, but like there is something there about it kind of just being a tool to wear with certain things in your wardrobe, provided that you already owned everything else. But that's kind of like how I see it and kind of how I use it. But like when, again, the default thing is like whenever I wear like a navy, like a brocade tie or like a pattern tie, like it just goes well with it. It feels intentionally uniformic or like a uniform. In that way, where like, and if you think about like the history of like hashtag menswear or like the menswear world, like the navy suit is like what every man like owns. Like there's pictures of the guys at the armory all wearing navy suits, or the guys you know, at Pity all wearing navy or whatever, as opposed to like, it almost feels like a statement sometimes against like the whole like crazy window panes or whatever. Like I remember like looking at that photo of like Mark Cho and Ethan Newton and Alan C wearing navy suits. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason why these guys seem different than like the Pity Peacocks who are wearing like red pants with like whatever. Like the navy suit is like your way to be sober, but without looking as corporate as wearing gray. Yeah, I mean, I just scrolled through the Instagram album. I literally, there's like 5 of guys wearing navy suit, bow tie with a boater. 6. I just got to another one. That's fucking crazy. Like it's so funny that, you know, we see the navy suit as so, you know, formal or whatever, but yet it's being worn
that's like
with
like
so much fun.
Suits, when it went from being kind of the default mode of dress where people tend to have a lot more fun with it, where now it's something that you just wear for work, or, you know, most of the time not even that, you wear it for like a wedding. And in that case, you're dressing for a very specific occasion where you're really not trying to stand out that much. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like the whole reason I want a navy suit is because I just, it worked better with certain colors. You know what I mean? And if I think about, I guess if I go back to the first question I had, right? Like, what was my first suit? And like, my first suit was black. Until I got, I think, like my navy suit that was like a 30s, 40s suit. You know, I wore separates a lot, and it was like, well, I need to have something that can just surround, like the patterns and shirts that I like, instead of the apparel art thing of like, okay, well, it's like, you know, gray trousers and whatever, and a brown plaid jacket. Like I wanted a tool to wrap myself in, and navy is and still was and still is like the ultimate choice to do that. Like you guys know, I wear a striped shirt with a pattern tie, and I could wear that with literally anything. But there's just the effect that you have of wearing a navy suit that it lets you lean into like being a yuppie and leads you into being apparel arts or whatever. Like that's like the best part of it. Like when I wear a navy suit, like the canvas is blank, and it's so much fun to think about like what shirt and tie I'm gonna wear with it. And whenever I do a yuppie cosplay, I think it just reads better. I guess across anything, like it's fun to like when you have a navy suit cut the way that we like it or cut the way that I wear it. Like it just depends on what you wear with it to kind of lean into whatever vibe. Like I could wear it with like an Armani tie and a point collar and it'll look 80s. And I can wear it with a spear point and I can wear it with a brocade and it'll look 30s. And like that's so cool to me that whereas like if you wear a brown suit, like it can be styled yuppie, but it'll still lean like older, like the navy suit just kind of helps in that regard. And again, like you said earlier, Spencer, like I think it's fun to wear black with a navy suit. Like just even wearing like a black shoe with a navy suit changes up the whole vibe. It's just I love it, and it's crazy to me that one of my first ever navy suits was a linen one from Suit Supply, because I didn't want to wear a wool one, and I got a navy. I guess I thought linen would be more like would wear it more in LA, and it's true I did, but like wearing a navy linen jacket with flannel pants, because that was like the only navy jacket I had for a little while, it's weird to me, right? Like it's better just to get the I guess. Obviously the navy 4-ply where it's like it's textured but open weave, like that's better. But yeah, I mean, it is funny how like it took me a while to kind of get it, because I wore separates so much, and a part of it is because like that's just easier to find. Like why it's hard to find a matching set, right? Like the pants fit but the jacket's too long or jacket's too short. But with separates you could just buy pants and a jacket separately. You just have to worry about one aspect of it. But yeah, I wear my navy suit a lot, and I feel like I go in phases of it too, where like I wear it for long stretches of time, and then I'll go back to wearing separates, or then I'll have a phase when I wear my gray suit. But that's also because I have the wardrobe that I have, where it's like, I just get obsessed with certain things and it just kind of keeps going. But I like that I have the navy suit there, because it's just so easy to kind of go into. And like,
well, I was gonna ask.
Whenever I think about it,
finish your thought. But then I just want to know how many navy suits you own total.
I own total. Okay. Well, I was gonna say like there's been a couple of times where like whenever I wear it, like I've been really getting into the 30s style again. Like I mean that's been obviously always been there, but like the whole era of like nostalgia and like kind of going back to the stuff. It's like when I look back at all these like fun ties that I haven't worn in a little while, because I've been wearing like more foulards, aka my crazy brocades, or even like the bold ties that I have, like navy suits just kind of like go with it, and I've been like really as it warms up, I've been really leaning into it. And I guess like navy also just works best with any kind of color. Like I wear a pink and navy looks so good together, as MJ said, yellow and navy look so good together, and then brown, like a brown shirt with like a black tie, or like it feels kind of uniformic, whatever. I've been really enjoying it. I just love my navy suit. It's crazy. I mean, it's weird to say, but like there's a way to look at it without it being so like, this is my safe suit. Like I think of it as when I want to cosplay being safe, but it's also a way for me to let loose and be fun as well. But you're asking how many navy suits I own. Well, I guess I own only two. I own the navy 4-ply from Suit Supply, and I'll get into my Suit Supply process in a future episode, because I feel like I own 3 of them now. But I have that as a both single-breasted and double-breasted, and then I have my navy cotton suit, which is with flapped patch pockets, like my fun like ivy kind of Drakesy kind of thing there. Those are the only 2 that I own. But I guess I wear those, like I can wear the jacket separately. And the navy cotton one is a little bit heavy, so I only wear it when it's like kind of colder out. But I do like wearing it, and I do wear it to Anime Expo because I don't want to wear my wool suit to Anime Expo because I feel like it's gonna get really wrinkled as I sit everywhere. But like with cotton, it doesn't matter. And of course, in cotton, the more you wear it, the better it is because it'll just soften up, and especially if I'm sweating my ass off as the way of the house husband, it just kind of makes sense there. MJ, did you have something you want to say?
I was gonna say the cotton suit also kind of going off of that like dress up or dress down sort of thing.
Oh yeah, we should talk about materials.
For materials
versus the wool where it's like it's just inherently like
it's normal.
Yeah, just that's a suit, It's back to our whole let's survey the audience which ones who's more casual in, like this picture sort of thing.
Yeah, it'd be funny if people could tell the difference between like wearing like a navy linen, navy cotton, like navy wool suit. I mean, I think they would.
Our audience
they would know. I feel like, yeah. Well, also like I feel like a regular person would know, like if they really looked at it. They could see like the wrinkles or whatever, or at least to say like, oh, that guy should iron his suit. But I think, let's talk about that. I think material is so interesting because like with a navy like linen or cotton, like things that are not just a worsted wool, I think it's a fun way to capture the vibe of like the platonic ideal, but just doing it in like a casual or sporty fabric. Like it's almost as if like you're trying to retain this like traditional or conservative demeanor, but like you can still be appropriate for the activity, right? Like, okay, I'm a navy suit guy, but like I don't want to wear gray, I don't want to wear brown, but it's summertime, so I have a navy linen suit. It's kind of like really cool to see. Or like, oh, I'm in the countryside and I don't feel like leaning into like the browns, so you wear a navy flannel suit, which is also kind of conservative if you're like live in like London or whatever. But like, if you think about it as flannel as like a sporting kind of a thing, like that's kind of a cool idea. Something, or again, like navy. Oh, you want to be more ivy or more workhorsey or kind of workwear adjacent. You wear like a navy.
Well, I was going to say, like, I feel like something that you don't see as much, but I love navy tweed or navy corduroy. Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like navy tweed is
those definitely feel
English, but like. I don't know. I feel like I don't see that as much. I've seen a lot of vintage examples from like the 30s and 40s, and some like really beautiful like navy fleck tweed, and then navy corduroy is nice. Yes. But again, you don't really see that very often. But I love navy suits. Yeah, and I love navy suits and like fabrics that you don't see often. Like I have in the notes like a suit that I would really love to have, and maybe we can all get into. If we can just pick out different types of navy suits we'd like to own. One of the ones I'd really like to have is something like a navy like seersucker. Like I've seen a couple brands do that. Yeah, just like a all blue. One. But like I really do love that. The texture from seersucker just with that like dark navy color is really beautiful.
Yeah, because at that point, right, like it's kind of what I was referring to where you still want to capture the color properties of navy and what it can do with your outfit. Like a navy seersucker with like a denim shirt is a fun way to like to get the same effect as wearing a navy worsted with a denim shirt, but it's just in seersucker now. Like you get to play with texture. That's what's so cool about like the qualities of like having a navy suit. It's like it's trad, but then you start having fun with like the colors of it, or even like the patterns of it, right? Like a navy pinstripe or whatever is still, it's very cool, and it has its own unique vibe compared to a brown pinstripe suit or compared to a gray pinstripe suit, and I want all of it. Well, and on that point with stripes, what's interesting to note too is like when you at least from what we've seen at from vintage collecting and vintage sellers. There's not a lot of solid navy suits. You would normally see solid navy in like gabardine in like the 40s or 50s, but when you get to be earlier, there's always a micro stripe to these blue suits, which is so interesting, like a shadow stripe, or even just in pinstripe,
or like sometimes even like a herringbone.
Oh yes, that's right.
A vintage navy jacket from like the 30s, that's not patterned necessarily, but it has like a thick herringbone weave that kind of comes through even from afar.
That's so interesting to me to see because the Navy is like the platonic ideal, but like it just seems like back then it's just like you just get the suit in like a color that you want, or like they at least had some like fun inserted in there.
Which is funny because, I was thinking before we were recording this of like Navy pattern suits I like, and I was like, I kind of really only like Navy pinstripe. Like, if we're talking about like an actual Navy and not like just a shade of blue, like I'd want it either to be just solid or have a pinstripe, and that's it. I don't like Navy plaids. I don't like Navy window panes. To me, those feel too much like hashtag. That if we're talking about hashtag menswear, that
it's feels like a Reddit. It's like a Reddit outfit.
Yeah, exactly. But like a solid dark navy suit, or just like a pinstripe one. I think. Hey, we just saw the Phoenician Scheme, which is like navy pinstripes.
Absolutely.
The movie. So like, I feel like that's what you should do with it. That's what you should stick to.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Interesting. I think I would do a navy window pane if it was like a 30s window pane. Like it has to be like, and that's usually because in the 30s or 40s, like the fabric is like thicker. It feels like the plaids feel more like good. I don't know, like compared to like how it looks today, it looks more like hashtag mensweary. But yeah.
Because I've had like a navy plaid suit that did not even fit me when I bought it, unfortunately. But that was like a really nice plaid that was a much lighter blue. That was kind of closer to a Postman blue, with like this kind of fun, red overcheck.
Oh
and
yeah,
that was nice. But I was looking at like dark navy pattern suits. I'm like, I don't like this. If it's a true navy, I think just stick to solider stripes.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember like when I first got my suit from I only made one suit with Ascot Chang, and that suit was navy. I wanted it to be navy, but it ended up I picked the wrong one. It was like not quite Air Force blue. It was definitely like a lighter navy. And then I got when I went to Hall Madden, and I got my navy double-breasted suit that MJ now owns because my shoulders and arms can't fit into it.
Sad.
It's like but like you get you can compare the depth really with that one.
Okay.
But yeah, it's kind
and also I just realized I lied because if I got a Navy Prince of Wales check, but it was like a subtle Prince of Wales. That's also really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one of those things where it's good when you see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I do want to say, like, back with like the different fabrics and power, the different, the different cloth choices. Like a navy cotton suit, like the whole charm is that it will fade, or like even like a navy like linen suit, or even navy corduroy. I guess navy corduroy could fade and like wrinkle as you wear it. But it is funny. Like I'm scrolling through my Inspo album, like of just how, despite menswear being about like, oh yeah, you got to wear gray and wear gray flannels and whatever odd jackets. Like, it's fun to see how different people have worn the navy suit. Like I'm scrolling down here. Like there's one with one of the guys in the Armory from a while ago with one of my favorite outfits, which I've done it. I've like copied it or whatever. Where like it's navy suit with like a green and purple paisley tie. I love that. And then I scroll down to get Douglas Cordeau of Fox Brothers wearing it with like, I guess it's both the same shirt. They're both like university striped shirts, but Douglas is wearing it with like a foulard tie, and he's got it in like a double-breasted variation, and it's like it's kind of fun. Like the idea of it, like yes, navy is formal, but like just the color matching and like the fun properties. Like again, purples and greens look so good with a navy suit, but then so does like even a darker navy tie because like the silk is more matte with like a medallion or pattern on it. And I scroll down. And then you get Jan from the Armory wearing it with like a cream yellow plaid tie, wearing it with with seersucker and like Belgians, and that's what's so cool to me about the navy suit. Like it's just so easily done, and it feels like you're it's a myriad of vibes when you depending on what you wear with it. Like it's just so like instead of it being decidedly one way, it's like okay, you're doing navy, but it's seersucker, and like you're wearing it with this or whatever, which is really, really fun. And then I scroll down even further, you get Alan C wearing a kind of very corporate-y look with a navy three-piece with a plain shirt with like a micro print tie, so kind of more finance bro adjacent. But that's cool. I like that. I like that you can do that, and it's fun that like when I have my navy suit, I like that I can like lean into that. Like if I wanted to look like venture capitalist like to the 2000s. I mean, I don't own like an Hermes tie, but like if I wore my navy suit with any of my shirts, and then I wore that with like a fun like Hermes or Bali tie, like it looks like that immediately. And then I can wear it the next day with like a spear point collar and like a foulard in it, and it looks like that, or like a deco stripe, multi-stripe tie or whatever. Or I can wear it navy suit with like a bandana, and like, you know, it feels like it's its own thing, which is, you know, it's just so much fun to me. You know, to be able to do that. Do you guys think about wearing brown or black shoes with your navy suit? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I tend to wear brown shoes, but that's because I only own like 3 pairs of black shoes.
Yeah.
And a lot more brown shoes.
Okay.
I like black with navy. I feel like I used to just be brown shoes only. Because, like, again, I feel like when we were getting into menswear, like, black shoe was still kind of the default. And, like, since then it's shifted to be that really ugly, like, caramel or, like, light tan color.
Yeah.
But, like, back when we were getting into it, it's like everyone was just wearing black shoes. So I wore brown shoes so I could be different.
Right.
But now that everyone's wearing brown shoes with blue suits all the time, and it looks terrible most of the time, I'm not saying brown shoes and blue suits is a good. Is
and
like
you're referring
combo.
to like the tan version, right?
I'm referring to like the
one,
tan, like what. Yeah, or like the dress sneakers with the white soles and everything.
Yeah, that sucks.
And that makes me think it's like, yeah, now when I see like a guy wearing like a dark navy suit with like a pair of nice black like wingtips or tassel loafers or something like that, that's like really sharp. That reads to me as like very, very sharp now.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah, MJ, what about you?
I mean, I like wearing my tabby boots with navy. So it's like,
okay,
yeah,
that's
I guess
black,
that's,
right? So.
Yeah, so I guess that would fit that slot. With brown, it's usually towards like
suede?
Yeah, suede, or like the, you know, like the para boot, like, so it's like a darker brown, or like the, you know, the like dark brown tassel loafers. It's usually away from the. I mean, I don't think I own any of those like tan or like light brown.
Yeah,
shoes,
I think your Yucatan suede ones are probably the lightest color that you would have, and that's the same for me as well. Where like my only shoe that's not color 8 and or black is my like brown suede shoes, which have like, I don't know if they were ever chocolate because some of them are bought pre-owned, but like now they're definitely like lighter, you know. But yeah, I mean, how would you guys? What navy suits would you? Because you already have, Spencer. You have one.
Yes.
MJ, you have.
I have
2 or 1. You have 1, MJ. You have the cotton one.
I have the cotton one, and then I have the
the navy double-breasted. One. Yeah. I mean, if you could build your navy suit, what would it be? I mean, because Spencer, the reason why I have that is because you have patch pockets on your navy blue suit.
I do.
What are your thoughts? I guess. That's
my navy blazer has patch pockets. My navy suit is, I think it's like a wartime suit because it didn't have cuffs. It doesn't have like not even true cuffs on the sleeve. It's like a tubular sleeve with just buttons on the side. No pleats, anything. So I think it was like a wartime like rationing suit. Yeah. I really like that one. That's got like a red, white, and blue pinstripe. I guess I'll keep that. But the other blue suits that I would really love to own, I want to have like a summer navy suit, and like I said, that would be something like a seersucker or linen. I would really like
decidedly
to have
summer.
Exactly, like something that is very summer. It's not something that's like, oh, this is for a season. This is for when it's like 85, 90 degrees out.
Yeah.
I want to have just like a blue cotton suit. I feel like that would be something that I would wear like every day. Like a blue, like essentially like a Brooks Brothers #1 sack suit, but in navy. And then I would, I don't know, other than that, I like having my navy double-breasted suit. Yeah. I think that's pretty good. But those are the ones that I'd really like to own. But yeah, currently I just have I don't know, I probably have more navy jackets if I dig, but like the ones that I wear are my navy double-breasted suit and my navy blazer right now, which is a very classic 70s blazer with the brass buttons. But yeah.
Yeah. What about you, MJ?
I don't know. I'm pretty okay with the two suits.
I mean, that Navy
now,
that Navy DB is pretty right
yeah,
there.
I mean, like it just
because I designed it or whatever. I picked out what goes with it.
Yeah, it was like it's put together well. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
But I guess Spencer kind of incepted the corduroy or seersucker navy suit to me. So
that is a good one.
Yeah. I mean, it's just those like seasonal and interesting patterns that kind of make it more than just just wearing like a smoother material than we normally have.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we were talking about just suits in general, I feel like every suit would be like Spencer said, like there'd be a summer version, there'd be a winter version, there'd be a 4-season version, and they would both have SB and DB jackets because I cannot decide which one I want.
Exactly. I love looking at those old like the like mail order made to measure suit things you would see from the 30s, and you could do that. It's like add on double-breasted jacket, add on extra pair of trousers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've been doing that every time.
Yeah, no, I mean that's literally what I've been doing at Suit Supply. Because what's funny is that if you would ask me a while ago, I'm all for wearing patch pockets on a suit. Obviously, that's like that existed first of all. People,
Oh yeah, to be clear, also my summer suit would be 2 patch pockets,
not 3.
Maybe 3.
The breast pocket.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I used to be like only 3, but now that I wear a couple 2 patch pocket jackets a lot, I'm like, this is kind of nice. I kind of like that.
You prefer having the regular boat-shaped breast pocket, the welted breast pocket?
Sometimes. When I go to make it made, this is going to be a tough decision, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a side thing. It's usually because I think modern patch pockets on the breast don't look like 30s ones. They don't have the same shape. So
they're not big enough, too. That's the other thing.
Exactly, which is why I'm like, I'd rather not have it. Because the hip ones are fine.
Mm-hmm.
The ones you get normally. So, but yeah, I'm, all of my Navy suits for a long time have been patch pockets. But when I got my Suit Supply one, I did get my Navy suit with flat pockets. And I think it's because I guess I got like corporate pilled a little bit. Like I want if I'm thinking of like the platonic ideal of this suit, it's normal. Like it is still 3-roll 2. Obviously the pants are double pleated, but like it has flapped pockets, and I should have made it jetted because I keep tucking them in. I'm like, what's the point of even having these flaps on there? But I have that again in single breasted and double breasted with one pair of pants because I love both of them. They both have different vibes. Like double breasted is like when I want to look like 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have a navy double-breasted suit that had I guess it was almost black. It was so dark. But it had like a subtle striped window pane thing to it. But I love that look. But then there are days when I want to wear a single-breasted version where because it's just a different vibe, right? Like just proportionally, right? Like soft 3-roll 2 with like notch lapels versus like the more in your face peak lapels, horizontal wide set buttons kind of a thing. It's like I need to have both of those for my navy suit because again, for me, it's not about this is my funeral suit. To me, it's like this is a suit that happens to be blue, and there are certain things that I want to wear with this thing that only the navy suit can give me, along with like the inherent vibe that it comes with. But I think that's really. I think that's I just need to have it. And then I like my cotton suit. I think a navy linen suit would be cool, but I'm kind of moving away from linen because that's a little too I'm totally fine with my 4-season fabric. I will wear that all the time, and I do.
I feel like I'm also getting negatively polarized to some linens because I feel like in the last few years, what the default suit has also taken on this weird kind of heathered texture. Or almost linen texture, kind of marble. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm not sure if I'm describing it right.
I don't know.
Okay, I'll see if I could find it just from J. Crew or something. But it's regular super 100s wool, but with this weird almost flecky or heathered texture, just to make it look interesting. And now when I see super textured wools, linens, it makes me think of that.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. I guess it's just more scratchy. I think maybe that's why. I mean, I definitely like a really dark and heavy linen.
Yeah.
I also will say, like, I mean, a super 100s, a super like 120s plus suit, I'm not a huge fan of across the board, but I feel like a navy suit doesn't need to be like, it shouldn't be super shiny, you know, or too super smooth. I don't know. I just feel like I like, you know, again, growing up with vintage and like, you know, being around like, you know, how matte it is, and also like, you know, tweed flannel or like a navy tweed or a navy flannel suit is like definitely not as shiny as like modern ones. I feel like that also adds to what I like from a navy suit. Like, it can't be too showy in that way. It's mainly about color than it is about shine, you know. Um, but yeah, how about this? How good of an investment is your navy suit as your first suit? Obviously, I think we're gonna say we're in agreement there, but how often are you gonna wear those navy pants by themselves?
You're not. I mean, the
never. Yeah. It never happens.
I feel like I used to do that because like I had navy vintage pants, and they were some of the only vintage pants I wore. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It is like hard to wear navy pants separately.
Like, I think I see a lot of vintage guys do it, but and like. There's something about like whenever I do that combo, like a gray jacket with navy pants or a brown jacket with navy pants, a part of me is like, am I doing this because I saw them wear it? But like, is this correct? And I hate talking about if this is correct or not, because like that doesn't sound right. It sounds antithetical to like our whole thing. But it's, I don't know if it actually looks good is like my thing. Like, I feel like I'd rather wear a chocolate brown pair of pants or khakis or gray pants over just navy trousers, you know? And there are some illustrations of navy pants, but they're almost always worn with like a white jacket or something like that. You know? It's never like you're wearing like a brown plaid sport coat or like a houndstooth sport coat with navy trousers.
And I feel like it does like work, and I've worn that, but like I don't like it as much as when you have a darker jacket. Like if it was flipped where you're wearing like a like, you know.
Well, a navy jacket works with everything.
Exactly.
That's the thing, right?
I just don't like
there's r/navy blazer for a reason.
Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan.
Right.
Like, I guess navy chinos. Like, I see a lot of guys wearing those, and those are better. But navy suit pants, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, what about this? You own a navy blazer. What's your thoughts on wearing a navy blazer versus your navy suit jacket?
I don't know. I mean, the blaze. If we're talking a true blazer with the brass or pewter buttons.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It
is a completely different vibe. Like the navy jacket with just like, you know, like plastic or horn buttons, whatever, depending on how fancy you are. That's just gonna be, that's gonna be more formal. And then I'm gonna wear the blazer when I want to go preppy or nautical or just be more casual in general. Like in general, you know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think I'm definitely the same way, because like it's easy for me to wear like, because I have a navy sport coat or navy blazer, then I have my navy suit jacket, and it just depends on what I want the look to go for. Like in apparel arts, the navy odd jacket, you do see some of it, but you only see the navy blazer when it is, like you say, Spencer, when it is preppy, nautical, or casual. And I definitely kind of do the same thing, even with single-breasted jackets. Like, if I want this to look more sartorial and like classic menswear versus like preppy, I'll wear like my navy suit jacket over my navy blazer. You know, like, it is interesting to think about those vibes. And in that way, I do think that like a navy suit it's still got to be your first pick, I feel like. You know what I mean? Like, it is to this day, if you ask me, I'm always like, you can wear this with jeans. And I always tell people, like, it's like, you think of like a navy blazer and jeans, and people will assume that it's definitely being preppy. I'm like, well, it's not as preppy as if you were to wear a navy blazer with brass buttons. So it's like, just to be okay with that. But sometimes it's kind of funny where I had the opposite with Sirhan, where he wanted a double-breasted blazer, and I said, well, you should just get a suit. And so he doesn't own the blazer because like there's no brass buttons, but he owns a navy suit, DB suit, and it's like, and he does wear the jacket on its own with jeans, and I think he does like that at least at this point in his menswear journey, and he's still very new, that it's not decidedly preppy, and he has the option of wearing it with like a full suit. You know, he can wear it to like my New Year's party or like wear it to a wedding or something like that, which is kind of fun. Have you guys worn your navy suits for occasions, like specific stuff? Or do you default to anything else? Like, I don't know how often these things come up for you, like job interviews.
No, I wear my navy blazer for job interviews. Yeah, whenever I was doing that, I would.
Oh, with separates.
Well, yeah, I would just because like again, the jobs I'm applying for, like you don't have to wear a suit, so I'll do a khaki, like my khakis, or sometimes I'll do gray flannels with a navy blazer and like a tie. But like I don't know, like a lot of the positions I was applying for were like lower level positions at a university, so it wasn't. If I was applying, for something much higher, then I might wear a suit. But blazers did just fine for what I needed.
Yeah. What about you, MJ?
I can't really think of a time other than interviews for Navy, like real events. Like, are you talking like good graduations or?
I mean, I guess it's kind of like an add-on to like when I say like, when do you wear your Navy suit? Like when you have those occasions, when do you actually wear the Navy suit? Like, when people say like this is what you wear to a wedding or a funeral, like is that the suit you pull out when you're doing that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I can't think of anything that sticks out to me. Where I guess I wouldn't. I guess.
Yeah, because I've worn my Navy suit for job stuff. Oh, there's my alarm. There's another one. For job stuff or for any kind of events. Like I've worn my Navy suit to a wedding before, and that's because with my ex-girlfriend, in the daytime she wore an aoyai, and so I had a navy. I wore my gray suit. Because I wanted to wear, she wore like a black and gold one, so I wore, and I felt like the black and gold looked better with the gray suit. And then she wore yellow and green florals for the reception, and then I wore a yellow shirt and green striped tie, and I felt like that looked better with a navy suit just because of the coloring. Like I could have worn a navy suit the whole time, but I wanted a complete outfit change since she was doing that, and I felt like the more formal, again, the more austere gray and black for the beginning part, and the lively yellow and green surrounded by navy versus gray, which is more austere, felt better for the reception. So that's how I thought of that. And then again, nowadays, like I watch Sinners, and of course the second time I saw it, and I had cocktails with a friend afterward, I did wear a navy suit with a pink shirt and a red and blue brocade tie to kind of as a tribute to the two brothers Smoke and Stack, which you'll hear about I think later on this month, I guess. But I do wear it whenever there's something fancy. Obviously, I wear like a navy suit whenever I'm going out. I guess it just not all the time, but sometimes if I want to wear a fun tie and I'm going out, I will surround it with navy. If I'm gonna be austere and like Ivy madman or businessman, I will wear gray. But if the whole thing is like I guess just whenever I wear a brocade tie, I just wear it with navy. And I think that's just my point. If it's a brocade tie, if it's a swing tie, I will wear it with navy, and it just makes sense. And those are definitely different occasions I have for it. That's just I love my navy suit, and sometimes whenever I say that, I look at my fit dumps, and I'm like, damn, I've been wearing my brown and gray suits. I gotta wear my navy one. Like it's just and then. Yeah, then there's a week where I wore all navy, then it just goes back and forth. But I definitely think like there's something special to it that is totally separate from like the grays and browns that we wear. But yeah, if you guys are are about to buy a new one, or your first ever suit, it's still navy.
The
answer is still
#Navy forever.
Navy, even though. That's right. Even though you will never wear those pants separately.
That's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah.
That's
true.
At this point, this is why you buy the 3 suits. I'm talking 3. You got navy, brown, and gray. You mix them up. That's it. Because it's like, oh yeah, you could do a navy suit and you buy gray odd trousers, but I bet you're gonna want to get that gray suit. Oh man, you're gonna then you might as well have. You might as well want the gray jacket, which means you might as well get the gray suit. So that's it. So don't forget to look at the blog post, by the way, guys, for all of the navy suit inspo pictures that we have. We got a lot of them. You got photos of me wearing mine with brocade ties. You got MJ wearing his navy cotton suit with the yellow beret. You got Spencer wearing his a denim shirt.
I need to find
probably
this is
or something.
Be just like a classic old school chest shot But one of the best outfits I ever wore was like when I was 16 years old or something, and I had 30s or 40s navy double-breasted jacket with like a club collar shirt and a gold tie. That was really good. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Classic. The classic chest shot, dude. That was so. I really like that because it made your lapels look crazy. Mm-hmm. Like it just because like the angle of it all. It's like I have a lot of goated fits, but there's a lot of. I don't even know if the sentence makes any sense, but like there's a lot of goated navy suit fits. But also every outfit I wear is goated because I love it. I
love being goated.
So and also like if we think about it too, like. The group photo that we took for our podcast like 4 years ago.
That's true. I think we planned that, right? Yep. We were like, we all got to wear navy.
That was
because it's classic, man.
I'm a classic man.
And I know, Spencer, you're wearing it with a brocade. I'm wearing it with a brocade, and MJ's wearing a foulard, I think. But yeah, I love the navy suit, you guys. This is our case for it. This is why we love it. Also, the color is just good. This is just about how much we love the color. And there's a whole episode on color, by the way, that we did like 3 years ago. Yeah. So listen to that one if you guys want more of our in-depth analyses on color and how it applies to menswear. Well, thank you guys for listening to the episode. I hope you had a fun time of us affirming the choice that navy suits are classic and we love them, even though you probably didn't need to hear that. Yeah. And if you want to discuss that with us more or even suggest new topics for the future, you can go to patreon.com/styleanddirection. $5 a month gets you access to our bonus episodes. We talk about movies like Sinners, which will come out very shortly, Butch Cassidy Sundance Kid, Back to the Future, the Aztec movie. What is it called? The Aztecs? Oh, shit. I forgot what it was called. But the Indiana Jones, proto-Indiana Jones movie. Yeah.
Oh, Secret of the Incas?
It's all there. If you guys like that. Secret of the Incas, the wrong civilization. And also gives you access. That's right. Just boring. It gives you access to our Discord where you can discuss it with us. $10 a month. Nothing else is new because that's it. That's all the bonuses we give you. But MJ does say your name at the end of every episode. So MJ, who are we thanking?
We are thanking our sidecast fanatics: Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Henrik Wilberg, Mason Ritchie, and Alexander Batin.
We appreciate you guys so much for supporting the podcast. You can follow the podcast at Style and Direction. I'm at Ethan M. Wong.
I'm at Spencer DSO.
Okay.
I'm at Talia MJ.
Yeah.
He just cut off. People are never gonna know what my username is because you coughed during it.
I know.
It's all good, guys. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.